Hello again, viewers, and welcome back to the channel. Today we have a fascinating story from a subscriber, Phil from England. Phil's tale is a testament to taking a leap of faith and the surprising success that can follow. He met his wife just 6 weeks before they walked down the aisle. Yes, you heard that right, 6 weeks. Phil openly admits he had serious doubts, even sweating it out in Chiang Mai the week before the wedding. But he made a decision based on logic, not just emotions, and it turned out to be the best decision of his life. Fast forward almost a decade, and against all odds and naysayers, Phil and his Thai wife are blissfully married with 2 children, and not a single regret. Stay tuned to hear Phil's story, followed by a summary of his insightful tips on how to make a marriage with a Thai woman thrive. It's a story you won't want to miss. I met my wife 6 weeks before we got married, and yes, of course, I had my doubts. In fact, I remember sitting in Chiang Mai the week before the wedding, sweating my heart out. And it had nothing to do with the heat of the weather or the chilies in the local dish. Yet, I took a decision based on cold, hard thinking, no lust involved. And it was the best thing I ever did. Well, much to the chagrin of all the well-wishers who in 2005 expressed that my marriage was doomed to failure. Even though none of them had actually ever met my wife, we do seem to be going strong some 9 years later, and we are well into our 10th year with no issues behind us, with none foreseeable on the horizon either. We are still blissfully married with 2 great kids in the fold, and I wouldn't change a thing. Of course, like all relationships, we have our moments, but they are few and far between. We have a lot more ups than we do downs, that's for sure. Would I, upon reflection, go back and change those 6 weeks into something more tangible, such as 6 months or 24 months before getting married? Nah, I don't think so, because I would have missed out on the fun of learning about my wife while I waited. I think one of the overriding elements is that once married, people by and large tend to work at it, and again, this has been the case in my observations. What do I think are the criteria for a successful marriage to a Thai, you may ask? Well, I would say this: learn to count to 50 before responding to anything she may say that is confrontational or get your back up. In fact, learn to enjoy taking a long walk before responding, because after you have been for a 3-mile walk, you are less likely to enter into a flaming match and more likely to approach it more rationally. Enjoy each other's company for what it is and who she is. Don't expect her to become interested in UK politics, football, accounting, bricklaying, or neuroscience. If you need that personal mental stimulation, go out and be with your mates, or click onto the internet and get it there, rather than force it upon your wife. I am pretty sure you have little interest in her wanting to talk to you about the latest Thai soap, food, or shopping either. So stop complaining about how she isn't like Shazza from down the road, with who you can sit and talk to about Chaucer or Shakespeare. If that is what you are after, here is a hint. You should have married Shazza and not some Thai filly. That doesn't mean you cannot have grown-up conversations with your Thai wife. Far from it. I have had some lively debates with my wife at times about subjects I never thought she would understand. Equally so, she knows a hell of a lot more about Thailand and Thai culture than you or I will ever know. And these are areas I stand back and let my wife take charge of. Let's face it, beer goggles and rose-tinted glasses removed. None of us, even if we live 1,000 years, probably still wouldn't get into the mindset of the Thais. The key is to give and take, and to give her some slack. I am pretty sure she gives you more slack than you could ever imagine on things that matter to her, but for which you don't even notice. I once had a discussion with the wife about UK politics, I think it was when we were talking about who she wants to vote for and her views on immigration to Britain and Reform UK. Her response took me back a bit because she revealed to me that she has seriously right-wing views on this subject. And this is despite her being an immigrant herself. I'm not sure I have dared broach the subject, since in case of what else I learn from the closet fascist in the family. Only joking, darling. Well, I have to say that in case she sends the black shirts after me. Conversely, my wife does have serious, strong views about Thai politics, some of which I dare not repeat in a public forum. Find something you both mutually enjoy, and then do it together as often as you can. For me, we love playing tennis, going for walks, spending time with the kids, and helping the kids learn, grow, and develop as little people. We also love gardening together. Sounds like we are a pair of old farts, I know. But it's what we enjoy, so who is to knock it if it floats our particular boat? This last one is very important. Give each other freedom to do things alone or in their own way. In the same way that I don't want my feathers clipped or my hands tied, I am 100% certain neither does your Thai wife. There is nothing worse than one partner controlling or domineering the other. Take money, for example, that root of all evil. Well, like it or not, she needs money as much as you do. She also needs the freedom to work and spend her own money as she sees fit in the same way that you do with yours. So agree up front who pays for what, and leave it at that. If she wants to send what's left of her own money over to her parents after she has paid her bills, then that's her choice. And there is simply no point arguing the toss. In our family, we have two rules. Never run out of money, i.e., always leave a buffer each month for emergencies, and cover the costs first and foremost before spending any money elsewhere. If both of us keep within these two simple rules, then we will never have any fights. My wife has broken these two rules twice in our 9 years, after which I felt the need to have a rather discreet and stern word, in her shell like. My wife now earns her own money, and she is free to do with it as she pleases. When the kids were infants and not at school, I gave her housekeeping because she was at home looking after the kids. Now they are both at school, she goes to work and she earns her own money. I never told her to do it. She just made the choice to do it herself because it's what she wanted. With this money, she has to cover the costs for her own car, her own daily lunch food, and the costs for all the after-school clubs the kids attend, and there are many. After that, she is free to do with it as she pleases. But should the kids find themselves not being able to attend a club because their mum has spent the money elsewhere, then words in the ear would be had. To my knowledge, I don't believe the kids have never missed a club yet due to lack of funds from their mum. Recognize the boundaries. There are simply some things you will never do when you have a Thai wife. Cooking is one of them, and to a degree, cleaning is the other. Although these are not absolute, and I'm sure by now the feminazis are throwing things at their computer screen, but that's the way it is. Thai relationships tend to be traditional. The man is the earner. The woman takes care of the home. In my house, my wife would not dare to even attempt any DIY. Even if a bulb needs replacing, she would rather sit in the dark and light a candle than change that bulb. I have tried encouraging her to do it herself, but she won't. Because in her mindset DIY, mowing the lawn, putting the black bin out, and dealing with all the man stuff is the domain of the man, just as cooking is the domain of the woman. The other main one is that the man must take the lead. There's no passing the major decisions on to the wife, because the minute you do, they will go into lockdown mode and respond with the usual classic of up to you. It's far better to be the man and take ownership and accept that you are the one with the balls. Okay, she may have them in her hands upon occasion, but ultimately they are your balls, so man up and take responsibility. By all means, encourage her to offer her thoughts and take them on board if she wants to try and guide you as to what she and the kids want, but make no mistake about it, she will ensure you are the one taking ownership of that final decision. It is yours and yours only. When it comes to household and kids, well, that's a different matter entirely. And this whole process works in reverse. Oh my, it's a funny old world being married to a Thai, and sometimes it isn't easy both ways. But you know what? I wouldn't change it for the world. Let's face it, we could all be dead tomorrow. So do as the Thais do and live your life today, for tomorrow may never come. So here's to another 10 years of happy marriages, to those wonderful, yet sometimes frustrating, Thai ladies. Enjoy it while you can. So there you have it. Phil's story, a real testament to taking a chance and trusting your judgment, even when it goes against the grain. He met his wife just 6 weeks before marrying her, and nearly a decade later, they're proving all the doubters wrong. His key takeaways for a happy marriage with a Thai woman: patience, understanding, shared interests, respecting each other's independence, and clear boundaries. What do you think about Phil's story and advice? Have you had similar experiences or different perspectives on relationships and marriage? Let us know in the comments below. We'd love to hear your thoughts. If you enjoyed this video, please give a thumbs up. And if you want to hear more subscriber stories and insights, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.